One man's decision can destroy a home for many, but sometimes nature has a way of speaking back. What happens when the tree you cut hold the stories of your past and the future of others? Once upon a time, in a small village by the edge of a dense ancient forest, there lived a farmer named Raghu. His house was surrounded by a vast garden filled with vibrant flowers, swaying plants, and in the middle of it all, an old apple tree that had stood there for generations. This tree had been his childhood friend, his refuge, and his playground. As a young boy, Raghu had spent countless afternoons climbing its sturdy branches, hiding in its leafy shade and feasting on the sweetest, juiciest apples he had ever known. But years passed, and so did the seasons. The tree grew old and gnarled. Its bark cracked with age, and its branches drooped low. No more apples grew on its limbs. The farmer, now a man burdened with responsibilities and worries, saw the tree not as a friend but as a waste of space. One day, while looking over his garden, Raghu muttered, "This tree is of no use anymore. I should cut it down and use the wood to build a new table and chairs." With an axe in hand, he approached the tree. The vine rustled its branches gently, as if whispering a warning, but Raghu was determined. As he raised his axe, a flurry of tiny creatures emerged from the tree. Squirrels darted down the trunk. Birds fluttered their wings in panic, and a chorus of desperate voices filled the air. "Please don't cut the tree," pleaded a mother squirrel, her eyes wide with fear. "This is our home, and our babies are still up there." A pair of sparrows, their feathers ruffled with worry, chirped frantically. "Our nest is in the highest branch. Where will our eggs go if the tree falls?" A grasshopper, small and green, leaped forward and cried, "This tree is not just wood, it gives us shelter and shade. Without it, we will all be lost." But Raghu's heart had grown hard over the years. He shook his head and raised the axe higher. "I need this wood for my family," he grumbled, ignoring the cries. Just as the first swing of the axe hit the bark, and strange sweet scent filled the air, Raghu paused. He looked closer and noticed a glistening patch near a hollow in the tree. Curious, he reached in and found a beehive, golden and streaky with honey. Without thinking, he tasted a bit of the honey on his finger. The sweetness exploded on his tongue, and in that moment a flood of memories came rushing back. He remembered himself as a little boy, barefoot and carefree, climbing the apple tree, laughing as the bees buzzed around him, the sun shining down through the leaves. He could almost hear the rustling of the branches and the song of the birds that had once lulled him to sleep. Tears welled up in his eyes. The axe slipped from his hand and fell to the ground with a dull thud. The animal saw the changes in the farmer's face. The bee, buzzing gently, said, "I will give you honey every season to sweeten your days." The squirrel offered, "I will gather nuts and acorns for you and your family." The sparrow chirped in harmony, "We will sing you songs every morning to lighten your heart." Raghu knelt down, overwhelmed by the warmth of the scene before him, the creature who called the tree their home, the memories of his own happy childhood, and the simple joy that the tree still brought to the world. He looked up at the tree now, seeing not an old, fruitless giant, but a living, breathing gift of nature. "I am sorry," he whispered, his voice trembling. "I was blind to your value. I promise I will never cut this tree. Let it stand as a home for you all and is a memory of the little boy I used to be. The animals cheered, dancing and fluttering around the tree in joy. The squirrel climbed back to her nest. The birds resumed their cheerful song and the bees buzzed happily around their hive. Raghu watched as his own son, a small boy with bright eyes, ran out into the garden laughing as he tried to catch a butterfly. The farmer smiled, realizing that the old apple tree would be source of joy for the next generation as well. So the apple tree stood tall in the garden, not bearing fruit anymore, but still bearing the fruit of love, joy, and life. The animal thrived, the farmer's family grew, and the tree remained a symbol of kindness and the interconnectedness of all living things. Every living thing has a purpose, and even those who seem to have no value may hold treasure we cannot see. Let us protect nature, for in doing so, we protect our own heart.